is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. This camera came out in 2018. I bought my one in 2019 and I'm still using it to this day for both my client and personal projects. I'm going to give you 6 reasons why I think you should be buying this in 2023 if you're an aspiring cinematographer or DP. So the first thing we're going to talk about is image. An image should be the #1 reason you pick up a camera if you're an aspiring cinematographer and DP. It's your job to create stunning images and visuals as part of the filmmaking process. Blackmagic cameras are renowned for their image quality, and the Pocket 4K is no different. What's so good about this camera is that for the price point, the image that you get out of this camera is ridiculously good. What most people tend to say about the image is that for a digital camera, it has a very filmic look to it. The image has a very organic quality to it and doesn't look so digital or too sharp. Though you get that clarity and sharpness in 4K, it doesn't feel over sharpened like you tend to see in modern digital cameras. In my opinion, one thing that doesn't really get talked about when it comes to the image of the Pocket 4K and Blackmagic in general is their color science. I really like the colors that come out of this camera. I feel they have a very natural feel to them. I tend to use this word a lot when it comes to this camera, organic. The colors can be pushed and pulled in so many ways depending on how you want to grade. With the Pocket 4K, you're able to shoot in ProRes and B-Raw. And the ProRes is 10-bit, so you're getting strong and accurate colors with all that data being collected as part of your 10-bit file when you're filming. The 12-bit RAW that comes out of this camera is stunning. It's so easy to grade and so easy to play back within DaVinci Resolve. I don't get any lag or drop frames. It's just easy to grade and easy to work with. It gives that flexibility in post adjusting, such as your white balance, ISO, exposure, tint. It's just a really great codec to be working with. And if you're not using B-Raw, the 10-bit ProRes is another solid codec that this camera is offering as well. The great thing about Micro Four Thirds as a lens mount option is that it can be adapted to so many different lens mounts. It gives you so many options within the vintage lens market, which tend to be a little bit cheaper. So you can pick up great vintage lenses for such affordable prices. A great one to start out with are some of the Canon FD lenses or the Nikkor lenses or any M42 mounts like the Helios 442. And on my Pocket 4K, I use a Metabones Ultra 0.71 speed booster, and that gives my Pocket 4K closer to a Super 35 field of view. And an added benefit of the speed boost is you get extra stop of light, and you do get a little bit extra shallow depth of field. I wouldn't say you get as solid shallow depth of field that you would with a Super 35 or the shallow depth of field that you get with the Pocket 6K, which I'm filming on now. I still think Micro Four Thirds still gives a great image if your composition and your lighting is right. Shallow depth of field isn't everything when it comes to composing an image. If you look at most cinematic shots, there's not tons and tons of shallow depth of field. It's all about good framing and good lighting. And I think if you adopt that approach, you'll get stunning images out of this camera. Next, I want to talk about the user interface of this camera. This camera has the best user interface I've seen on any camera system. It's so easy and so simple to use and very intuitive. When I first got this camera, within I would say the first few hours, I kind of figured out most of the settings and buttons on this camera. It's so easy to use. It has a big display because it's got a 5-inch screen at the back. Having a user interface that is so simple and so easy to use gives you so much flexibility and gives you so much confidence that you're going to be able to get the kind of shots you want and change your settings and go without having to delve through tons and tons of menu options. I still do not know why to this day other camera systems have not tried to simplify their menu system and their operating system. When you're starting out, you want to have something that is easy to use and allow you to free up your mind to concentrate on your composition, your framing, your lighting without having to worry about camera settings. And that's what's so great about this camera. The price of this camera is amazing. Like, what you get for the price is ridiculous. It's just ridiculously good. Brand new, you can pick this up for, I think, before tax in the UK, you can get this for £1,099. I think in the US, you can get this for $1,295. What you get for that price point, you're getting a camera that shoots 10-bit ProRes, 12-bit RAW internally. You've got cameras that are like 3 times the price of this camera that do not even shoot RAW, and some of the ones that do, they only shoot RAW externally. You're getting 4K 60, you're getting 2K 120p. In the secondhand market, you're gonna find great deals for this camera. So you can pick this up probably for about anywhere between £700 to £900. I've seen deals on eBay where you're getting a pocket 4K and a lens for around £700, which is ridiculously cheap for what you're getting, considering what the price of some other cameras that don't even have half the features this camera has. A big thing that a lot of people complain about this camera is they talk about things such as it not having autofocus or in-body stabilization. But I think people are missing the point when it comes to this camera. It's meant to be an entry-level cinema camera. Cinema cameras, the main focus of the camera is to produce an amazing image. So because of that, the main focus is the image when it comes to these cameras. Things such as autofocus and stabilization are not even a thought. When you start moving on to more advanced and more expensive and bigger cameras, such as your Reds and your Arris, you're not gonna have things such as autofocus and IBIS. This camera is going to teach you things such as manual focus. This camera is going to teach you how to rig up a camera to add a bit of weight in order to get smoother handheld footage. So learning how to create great visuals without those tools are key if you want to be an aspiring DP or cinematographer. So those are my 6 reasons why I think you should be picking up this camera if you're an aspiring DP or cinematographer in 2023. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please drop it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what camera you would recommend to an aspiring cinematographer or DP to start out with if they're just getting into the game. But for now, thank you for watching and hope to see you guys in the next video.